All right, today is August the 13th, 2016, and right now at 9:30 p.m. in the foothills of Los Angeles, we have a temperature of 79 degrees. The relative humidity is 45%. The barometer has dropped to 29.93 inches, and we have a dew point of 55 degrees. And we had clear, sunny, hot weather all day. It got up to about 98 degrees in the San Gabriel Valley. Same story out in the San Fernando Valley. Clear, no chemtrail aerosols in the LA basin that I could see from my vantage point. Um, all right, so we are now watching the Gulf of Mexico, that giant unnamed storm that was parked over Louisiana for a day and a half. Right here, this has moved over eastern Texas. We can see that it has moved. The storm is being hit. We've got a visible light image we can show, showing the photoshopping overlay right here on those last frames. The storm is being hit. They're trying to cover their tracks by using photoshopping overlay, but we can see the blast pattern right here. Watch the very tail end of this loop. Right there, we see a huge plume flying out towards the southeast, right there, the last couple of frames. Let's go back to the water vapor map, and we can see that there's a general clockwise rotation happening right here. That's because there is high pressure installed right over the top of this system, and we can see some of that right here on the northeast side of that storm, which is probably there to push this thing away. What we've got also here is a low pressure vortex here trying to spin counterclockwise. This system has this vortex has a transmitter on that. We can see the dark area, and that is engineered to produce descending air and to prevent this area from developing into a hurricane, which would happen very quickly over these 85 to 88 degree waters right here in the Gulf of Mexico. Let's take a look at this in the rainbow loop. We can see that the core is targeted. The system rebuilds itself after it is hit with microwave. The system becomes disorganized and it rebuilds. But if they wanted to, that is the weather controllers, the terrorists controlling our weather, if they wanted to completely wipe that storm out, they could. We've seen hurricane after hurricane destroyed with microwave, and they are much bigger and much lower pressure than this little unnamed storm here. So there was a reason why that system was parked over Louisiana for a day and a half. Let's go ahead and take a look at the some of the rain totals for Louisiana right now for the last 24 hours. This is truly incredible information, these numbers. 31.39 inches near Watson, Louisiana. Now, I don't know where that is, but Livingston Parish, that's probably down in the New Orleans area. Anyhow, let's take a look at these. We've got 27.47 inches at Brownfields, Louisiana. We've got 26.26 inches right here in Monticello, I guess it is, or Louisiana. 22.84 inches in Gloucester, Mississippi. 21.5 inches of rain in Jackson, Louisiana. And this is just amazing. You know, California this last season, ending June 30th, had about 15 inches of rain. This last season, the season before, we had about 7.75 inches. We had less than 8 inches of rain for the entire year. The season before the season before that, 3 seasons ago, we had about not quite 7 inches. We had 6.75 inches of rain for the entire year in California and Los Angeles. Okay, last year, as I mentioned, about 15 inches of rain. So they are these weather terrorists know that we are onto them, and they're changing their game plan a little bit. And it looks like New Orleans and Louisiana, those guys, they got to understand what's going on here. This was no accident. And you can see the blast pattern, photoshopping Why is that being photoshopped? Well, it's because they don't want us to see what's going on under that overlay, which is microwave transmitters hitting that system, which proves weather manipulation. But the other side of this coin tonight is that this could have easily been destroyed, as we saw with 200 mile per hour Hurricane Patricia last season and many other hurricanes. That was easy to destroy. They could have easily wiped this system out, but they decided not to for whatever reason. There may be weather futures on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the Chicago Climate Exchange, weather derivatives being traded may have something to do with that. Okay, let's look at some of these other maps. We have the Northeast Pacific Water Vapor Loop, and we can see that there's a huge area of high pressure installed right over California and Nevada. Everything is moving clockwise right here. None of this monsoonal moisture moving up from Mexico is getting anywhere near California or the Colorado River. It's completely blockaded by this high pressure, which is generating a strong eastbound flow, which we can see in this map. Everything is moving to the east. Also, we have an area right here which is trying to spin counterclockwise right down here, and that has a transmitter on it. We can see that right here. This would quickly spool up into a hurricane or a tropical storm right down here. That dark area is a transmitter, which is counteracting the counterclockwise development right there. Also, we have a couple of new disturbances, one here and one here. This is a 0% chance, and this one is a 10% chance of hurricane formation in 2 days. Those are now indicated on the Hurricane Center map. We've got a lot of thunderstorms out here near Hawaii, just south of Hawaii. These are not indicated on the maps. And also notice that the area around Hawaii is always fairly cleared out. And that's no accident, because the people doing this, that is the terrorists that are controlling our weather, maintain fairly safe conditions over these islands because there's military assets, there's people living there. But it also proves that there's a U.S. interest here, probably running this whole operation. Okay, now we have an upper level low pressure right here. This is a 991 millibar gale force system right over Alaska, and that will be blocked by all this high pressure. We're not getting any damp weather whatsoever. There's a right here going over Oregon. We have a moisture field. This is being chemtrailed very heavily. We'll take a look at that on the SSEC map. Let's take a look next at the Rainbow Loop. And we can see there's a blockade of high pressure right in here, this area. Once again, right through here. Nothing gets past that barrier right there where the pen is. It will maintain dry conditions in this area. This is the jet stream flow sweeping down. It's all blockaded through here with got high pressure all through this area. And we have something here that's about to spin counterclockwise right in here. So that will be receiving more attention. The transmitter will starting to hit it all right there. You can see it right there. They're targeting it right there. Okay, let's take a look next at the water vapor loop for the western U.S. And we can see the high pressure right over the California, Nevada, Arizona area. Everything is moving clockwise. That's descending air from all this high pressure. It's all artificial, man-made high pressure. Also, there's a lot of chemtrails being sprayed in this frontal system right here, which is winding into that core of that 991 millibar gale force system there. And we also have a lot of chemtrails right over this moisture field. And there is absolutely zero rain on this entire west coast, these three states. But despite all that moisture, there's no rain showing up on the IntelliCast map. The Doppler radar map, there's no rain in Oregon, just a lot of chemtrails, and that's how the chemtrails work. They spray those aerosols above the moisture field, and that causes a capping inversion layer, and there's no lift in this area, and so there's no precipitation. You have to have two things for precipitation. You have to have lift in the atmosphere and moisture. So we've got the moisture here moving in, but the lift has been prevented with the chemtrail aerosols, and that stops the rain. Okay, now we saw this map. We saw these maps. Let's take a look at the northwest Atlantic water vapor loop. We can see that vortex spinning, moving into the Gulf of Mexico, into the 85 to 90 degree waters out here, 85 to 88, 89 degree waters. This has moved away because there's high pressure right here. Everything is sort of moving clockwise. The entire system looks to be spinning clockwise. They've got some strong high pressure there. I mentioned that. Also, the Northeast is sweltering in very hot temperatures. New York City, dew points up there around 70, 71, 72 degrees. So that is some very uncomfortable weather. All right, let's look at the, this is the SSEC water vapor map. And we can see the heavy aerosol spraying right here. This is that 991 millibar gale force weather system. We can see all that chemtrail activity, and also over Oregon we can see the lines perpendicular to the flow right through here. There's no rain falling anywhere in these three states except for way up in northern Washington state. Look at all these trails, all those aerosols. Those are all chemtrails. All that's going to blow right into Canada and produce a lot of headaches and allergies for the people up there. Okay, now here's the Hurricane Center map. We can see those two disturbances over here in the East Pacific. One of them is 0%, the other one is 10%. Keep an eye on that. There's nothing in the Atlantic to show. Okay, now here's the sea level pressure analysis. We can see that surface low. This is extends all the way up to the 300 millibar level. This 981 millibar weather system. We have low pressure indicated over eastern California and Arizona right here. We've got high pressure adjacent to that right over New Mexico, and that is helping to wind a lot of these storms away from California. Also, we have that huge dome which shows up in the 500 millibar right here. This huge dome of high pressure all through this entire area. We've got some squiggly lines right in this area as well. That shows some indications of high and low pressure at the 500 millibar level, which is probably transmitter generated. These squiggly lines are all abnormal and would indicate weather manipulation by these RF transmitters. Here's the 300 millibar level. We can see these upper level lows. We've got this one up here, and none of that will get into California because of the high pressure at the 500 millibar level and also at the surface. Okay, there's the jet stream right up here near Alaska, that upper level low. We've got the surface analysis map here. This is showing us the high pressure at the surface level all through the eastern Pacific. We've got a couple of cold fronts here, and that big system up near the Alaskan area, 991 millibar gale trough shown. Now down here in California, we've got a trough and a couple of lows indicated, and a developing gale also indicated right here, and we'll have to just wait and see what happens. You never know. When these people are creating the weather, they can do whatever they want. So the weather forecasters just grin and they read the scripts. They don't know any more than anybody else what's going on, unfortunately. So that's why there's a lot of comedians in the weather forecasting business. They got to tap dance their way through it. All right. Next, that's pretty much it. Let's see. Let's take a look at the. This is the Doppler radar for the Louisiana and eastern Texas area. We can still see all that heavy rain. Okay, that's it.